So, how big of a concern are cyber attacks when many have checked out for much needed rest during the holidays? Well, joining us now to discuss is cybersecurity expert and CEO of Berkeley Veritronic Systems, Scott Schober. Scott, thank you so much for coming on with us today. I want to start with those last few points we hit on. With an uptick in cybercrime this year, how concerned should these major companies be about some sort of hack or ransomware attack around the holidays?
Well, they certainly should be concerned. And as you pointed out, Welly, the cyber criminals don't take a break. They don't get holiday off or don't sit back and relax. And that means we really got to be on guard. And I'm kind of glad that the Biden administration and even CISA, they put out this warning, because in the past there was not enough communication between public and private sectors. Now they're being a lot more aggressive, putting out warnings, working closely with companies, especially big tech companies. And that's going to start making a difference, because if people take it too easy and just go off into the holidays and their winter break, they're going to be waking up to a rude awakening, especially with a lot of these targeted ransomware attacks.
And with all of these high-profile situations, do you see like large corporations and tech companies and even some of the smaller companies, because those are the really ones that what you have to be concerned about, because they might not have the resources to fully protect themselves, but are they able to shore up their cybersecurity, and have they done so to limit issues that could affect millions of customers here in the U.S. or around the world?
Well, there is a level of cyber complacency, unfortunately, across the board. And that's true within the government. That's true within small businesses, even larger corporations. It's getting better. They are sharing more information. But just thinking about this stat, ransomware attacks. Every single 11 seconds, there's another ransomware attack, as reported by Cybersecurity Ventures. That's staggering. And if you contrast 2018, the average payout for a ransomware attack was about $5,000, usually in Bitcoin. Today, this year, 2021, the average payout is over $200,000, again, in Bitcoin. So what does that tell you? They're getting really good at demanding high payouts for these ransomware claims. And now it's getting to the next level, where there's a level of double extortion, where they'll actually exfiltrate data before they actually encrypt all the data on the computer networks. And that way they have that double extortion, where they could say, hey, if you don't pay the ransom, I'm going to take all your confidential data, put it out there, your intellectual property, or sell it on the dark web. So they're having more leverage, and therefore they can command much higher return on these ransoms. So it's scary stuff. Everybody's got to be aware of this.
Why do you think we're seeing such a complacency? Is that more about the fact that, you know, this is all new? It all moves so fast. And I think we could all say anybody who works in an office somewhere knows people who refuse to even just accept that we're using emails now as the technology to get our memos out. Is it the same thing in the world of business too, where people are just refusing to admit how important this is? Or is it more of a, hey, this will never affect us?
I think it's a little of both. I hear a lot of that denial. Oh, it won't happen to me. And I always liken it to passwords. And I hate talking about passwords, but it's something that affects us all. How many people still will create a weak password, password 123, will use that same password over multiple login sites? It's more than 50% of the people still do it, despite the efforts that myself and other cybersecurity researchers constantly say you can't use the same password again and again and again. And what do we keep saying? Use multi-factor authentication. It's there. It doesn't cost much time. It's a little bit inconvenient, but it's much, much safer, 10 times more safe. So you got to balance that trade-off. Balance security versus convenience. And I always opt for security. So take some time, use multi-factor authentication. It will make a difference, especially this holiday season where everybody is heading toward the online shopping. Very important.
All right, I got one more thing before we go here, because Amazon Web Service, they suffered another brief outage just this week here in the United States after a larger outage affected many major portions of the internet last week. It doesn't appear that these were necessarily cybersecurity related, but how concerning is it that so much of the internet is controlled by just a few companies, the biggest of which is really AWS? And I'm sorry, I have about 40 seconds for you here.
Beautiful point. AWS, they're huge cloud provider. Everybody uses them. And this was really a case, not a cyber incident. It was really network congestion. That's what really caused the problem. They promise it won't happen again. They got it fixed up. So hopefully going forward, things should be smooth in the next couple of weeks.
But, you know, I mean, if someone were to attack it, knowing that so much is reliant on it, I mean, that could be a real problem, right?
Sure.
Absolutely. Well, Scott,
huge problem. That can be dangerous.
Scott Schober of Berkeley Veritronic Systems, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate having you on. We'll do it again soon.
Thanks so much.